Just remember, we will not go down.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
I think we need to go back a bit on the historical context of this later, but for the moment I think what is happening in Gaza in particular and even in West Bank is something that has not happened in this world for many decades or many centuries, in fact, where genocide, using starvation, using bombs, artillery, every possible weapon is being used on a population that is under siege, under blockade for more than, the last 17 years in particular, but for more than 17 years, literally. What's happening in Gaza, live streamed on all the world's television, 8 billion people in this world watching the extermination of 2 million people, and no one, no nation, no leader in this world is doing anything about it, and it's a very sad situation. Is something that we haven't seen in our lifetime, and no one thought it would happen in our time, that something like this would happen. Yeah. Second is the fact that Gaza in particular, where already hundreds, thousands have been killed in the last 2 years, neighbors, Muslim countries, and some of the wealthiest, some of the most powerful armies of the Muslim nations in that region, and thirdly, that the entire world really, including all those who have always said they stood for human rights, they stood for human values and so forth, everything has become hollow. No one really, none of these nations are doing anything. In fact, make it worse, there are many of them, particularly Western countries, are providing weapons, providing financial support to the Zionists in Israel who are carrying out this genocide. And this is a genocide that has been confirmed by even some of the top historians, including even Israelis. Yes. Authors and writers on Holocaust who are comparing today, they are comparing Nazism with Zionism. Yes. What's happening in Gaza is in fact worse than what has happened even during the Holocaust. So it's if you look at the sheer weight of weapons, ammunitions that have been used, bombs, many are now in the UN estimating that it's more than 7-8 times what has been used on Hiroshima. That nuclear bomb which killed hundreds of thousands. And this is an area half the size of Nairobi. County, as we know, is half the size of Nairobi. 25 miles, 7 miles. So imagine 2 years of constant bombardment of bombs, literally flattening every building, every thing in that, and making life. In fact, many now think, some of the aid workers who work in there say that when you go there, you would think this is another world. It's not the world that you're used to. I mean, people are living literally one day at a time. You don't even know whether you'll survive. Now the situation of starvation being used. So that's the situation. We are in a very dire situation for the residents, in particular of Gaza.
Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah, barakallah fiqh, inshallah ta'ala. Maybe your just opening remarks, inshallah, before we go into the beginning of the ethnic cleansing of Palestine. Yes, please.
Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We are a pleasure to be here today, inshallah, to share with our listeners and viewers on Palestine. And really is a sad situation for us to witness, and the world is silent. But to a Muslim, these things were expected, especially in that land. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala foretold, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in clear terms foretold the coming of a time when Palestine, Bilad al-Sham in general, Palestine specifically, there will be great upheaval. And there will be fighting and killings and so on and so forth. Therefore, it is not so strange. The strangeness it comes from the world, which is silent, and especially the Muslim world. It is, despite the differences between the countries or the Muslims or the area, but when it comes to bloodshed and genocide, ethnic cleansing, the first people who were supposed to stand firm was were the Muslims.
Exactly.
And then second, those who trumpet
Yeah.
the one that we deal with human rights. We want every human life is sacred and so
Yeah.
on and so forth. But in this,
No.
they are mum. Therefore, you wonder: are these? There are people who are superior than others.
Yes.
People who are more human than others, and so
Yeah.
on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But as it was rightly said by the Israeli, the Zionists,
Yeah.
that these are the human animals.
Human animals now.
Therefore, wrecking them aside and killing them, just
It's not-
killing cockroaches.
Just
Yeah.
remember,
Unfortunately.
we will not go down in the night without a fight. You can burn up our mosques and our homes and our schools, but our spirit will never die. We will not go down in Gaza tonight.